Hey, welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thanks as always for making your way here and checking out the series. Please do hit the subscribe button if you like what you see, what you hear. I do 3 new interviews every single week, so it's a great way to keep up with all of your favorite artists. And I got to tell you, I am so excited and honored today to be talking with Joey McIntyre of New Kids on the Block. Hello.
What's up, sir?
It's great to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to talk today.
Well, thank you. You know, I'm looking at all those legends behind you on the wall, and I'm trying to, I know I'm a pop guy. I love them all, but I can say I did play the Fonz in Happy Days the Musical, directed by the one and only Gary Marshall. So I can identify with something behind you.
You know what? Everybody behind me is an icon and a legend, and that's exactly how I would explain your career as well. So it is iconic. You are a legend. That's true. That's all true. Whether I don't know how you are at taking compliments, but I'm going to throw it at you.
Thank you.
Anyway.
I mean, I will say with full confidence that there are some people on this earth that agree with you. I'm not. I certainly don't look at it that way. I'm just happy to, get to do what I love. And certainly the New Kids have had a blessed career, and we continue to try to uphold our end of the bargain.
And you continue to do so. And that's one of the main points we're here today to talk about, because you all have been on this mixtape tour that's been going on. And what a cool, I mean, I'll let you talk about it. What was the concept behind this?
Well, turning off my notifications, sir. I don't want to be blinging while I'm, I think, this is the second time we've done the mixtape. We did it a few years ago where, the idea is you get a handful of great acts, and what we do is we start the show. I mean, we're the headliners, but we start the show, we finish the show, we come in and out. These amazing acts come in and out, which I don't think you really see any of, in these big arena tours. And it's kind of a no-brainer, but it's just not done a lot. So that's a very exciting aspect. I think, we've always tried to put together a show that people would be excited about. We've had amazing acts along the way that toured with us. Boys to Men, Paul Abdul. Last time we had Debbie Gibson and Tiffany and Salt and Pepper. We were able to bring Salt and Pepper back. And now we've added En Vogue, which is amazing, and Rick Astley. And it's this beautiful pop brew, and I think these acts this year are very cut from the same cloth, and we're having a great time. I think that, we benefit from having a lot of experience. A lot of bands break up, as being a fan of music. I mean, a lot of bands just don't benefit from the experience because they break up after 5-10 years, to do other things, and which we did, but we got back together. I think we know our fans, we know ourselves. Donnie Wahlberg, is essentially artistic director and for the tour, and it's a very collaborative effort. But he definitely has a vision every year, and we kind of whittle away at that, and he's done a great job, and it's just a great night.
Yeah. It's interesting too, seeing how you all, I don't know if it feels like an obligation. I should ask that, but like, how much do you have to consider, like, people show up wanting to be transported back? There are some folks I would expect, they might not think that, but they want to feel like it's 88, 89, 90, 91, anywhere in there. But then you have the new fans in there as well. Like how much do you all consider, that line and how to toe it on both sides?
Oh, I mean, we check that box like a mofo, you know what I mean? Like that box, that nostalgia box is filled. And, and I think that, it's always felt fresh for us. I mean, we have made, new music over the last, 15 years now almost. And that's fulfilling. Personally, our fans really love it. I think every album, was entered in the top 5 on Billboard. So it has a lot of currency in many ways, new music. But we unabashedly embrace, our past and our history with our fans. And, more and more, we call them baby blockheads, but that second generation, our fans, have probably had a few girls' nights out, and now they're bringing their kids more and more, and it's wonderful. And, I have 3 kids that are 11, 12, and 14, and I don't think kids nowadays, when we were growing up, it was like, what's that band? Who are they talking about? The only way you could do it is basically go to the record store or find some VHS tape of your friend had it and you got hip to that. Nowadays it's a click away, and they don't see the division of genres and generations. If they dig it, they dig it. If they don't, they move on. So it's very, very cool. And it's just yeah, I mean, we embrace the past, but it's super fresh, and we feel like very current rock stars up there.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the next generation on stage, or helping you got on stage anyway with your son. I saw, Griffin getting up there. I mean, and I know that's not the first time, but it happened recently though, and that's got to be one of those things. I'm a dad. I kind of understand that. To see that happen, that's got to be incredible.
It is incredible. I mean, he is a he's already an amazing musician, and he works hard at it. He's also a regular 14-year-old who doesn't want to practice, and we're parents who don't want to push it. You know what I mean? And like, I know my history, and I know he appreciates it, and I know he wants to be a part of it. I also have no desire to be any kind of a momager at all. You know what I mean? So it's, for the most part, it's worked out because, he loves it, and talent is talent. And he's great. It's fun to share it with him.
Yeah. It's also kind of interesting when you think about, as you were talking about before that, sort of, chapter 2, whatever, post reunion, New Kids on the Block. Like, like I'm a big fan of Grown Man, that song, which, by the way, shout out to Nicole from Louisville, where I'm from here, who joined you on that song. But it's like, how in the New Kid story, how does pop grow up, with you all? Was that also part of it? Is that something you all had to figure out along the way?
Well, I mean, when you look at when we got back together after 14 years in 2008, I mean, a lot of things, the stars have to align, as we all know, no matter what you're doing. And the stars align in the way that timing is everything. Our fans were ready. They were in their 30s and they've had plenty of life experience, and they wanted to get away, and they were ready. We were ready. And then on the music side, on the kind of the business end, we signed with Interscope Records and Jimmy Iovine. So again, you can't get better than that. And that collaboration, Jimmy was all in, and that's why Teddy Riley, who was our hero and a legend himself. I think as far as that transition, that was a very formidable album, to come back with, and I think we took it seriously, and I think the industry took it seriously, and it did really well in a lot of ways. I think we even had a top 20, single off of that album. So, and I think that was a great kickoff, and it's part of the creative process. We didn't know if we were going to come back with 5 songs or 2 songs, and we just kept kind of rolling along and being a part of the showing up for the process, and that's what happened. And then since then, we made another full-length album that was different for us. We met with this guy I always they're from Denmark, so their last names are not simple, like for my simple American mind. But Lars is a guy who, you know, connected with us. So we had all of a sudden we did this more of a Euro pop, you know, leaning album. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you like to mix it up. I mean, we are from the R&B, hip hop. You know, that's what we grew up on. So we're always gonna kind of feel more at home there. And to wrap this question up, I think when you get us five on a song, it's a New Kid song. You know, we've been doing this long enough that when you hear, you know, Jordan on the first verse and me on the B section and Donnie on the chorus and the other guys coming in, you know, it just is what it is. And that's kind of a cool thing to have too, that comes along with being together for so long.
Yeah. Well, and I should bring up, I mean, the songs, especially that you all have been releasing the past few years, you know, 80s Baby still sounds good. And to me, I'll go back to that one, the boy band anthem. Obviously, the latest single was Bring Back the Time. I mean, again, I think this goes back to what, you know, I was kind of getting at the beginning of the interview, too, because this does do this really fun thing for fans where it's like, yeah, we're singing about that past, but we're giving you something new. And they're still great. I mean, these are great singles that you're still putting out.
Yeah. Yeah. I've ranted and raved about 80s Baby. I was like, I will go to every radio station in the country to make that a hit record. So I'm a believer too. I mean, you know, what comes up for me, and I've been thinking about it recently, you know, it's like, you look at Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David, right? Who's bigger than Larry David? There's no more, you know, recognizable name in entertainment, especially comedy. And he's been doing the same damn thing for 20 years. And we love it, and he respects it, and he tries to keep it fresh for him. But, like, that's what you do. You know what I mean? And, like, sure, you want to stretch the boundaries. And what I love about it is just as a performer every night, learning to become a better performer, better singer, you know, that's very important to me. And we're the new kids on the block, you know what I mean? So let's serve up New Kids on the Block, you know what I mean? Let's do it the best way we know, you know what I mean? So and then find ways to stretch around that, within that, you know?
Yeah. Well, that one too, Bring Back the Time, of course, featuring a lot of the folks that you're touring with there. You know, we bring up Salt, Pepa, and Rick Astley and En Vogue. Obviously makes sense because of the tour. I do want to ask candidly, the music video, because I've gone back and looked at that a dozen times. Like, did you, what was your favorite to reenact? Did you have one that were like, oh, this is the one?
I thought the candid question was, were you guys on drugs in that video?
Were you guys on drugs?
That was the candid. No, we were not. We were not. You know, what's more, the thing is sometimes, you know, often, I don't know, it's a personal experience, but a lot of our fans, a lot of the blockheads, they think I'm drugged a lot. And they, you know, not a lot, but like, I mean, what's more fun with being with your five buddies doing what you love? You know what I mean? Like, anybody can go back to their teenage years and recognize you didn't need drugs. You just needed each other and being, you know, and just having a ball. But I think, and that's what that video is. You know what I mean? We made all those costume changes in one day, and we would come out of the, you know, changing room, and, you know, we just die. You know, you get into these characters, and then it was like, you know, we really live those characters. You know what I mean? We really get into playing these characters. You know, I thought when we were doing Duran Duran, I looked like a cross between Ellen DeGeneres and Dana Carvey. So I didn't know where I landed within that spectrum, but it was so much fun. It was great fun. We had Donnie brought the whole hair and makeup team from Blue Bloods. So we had A+ people in that department. And It was just, again, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
We went there.
Have you heard from any of the bands that you parody? Like I'm going to have Neil from Journey on. I'm going to be talking to him in a couple of days, so I think I'm going to have to bring this up to him as well.
Oh man, well I hope he feels like we did him justice, and they make classic stuff. So what do they say? The highest form of a compliment is
Absolutely.
imitation. I think D. Snyder reached out to Donnie. I think Donnie reached out to D, and then D. Snyder was like, "Hell yeah, man, it's all good, bro." I think he even tweeted that, like he gave his blessing. So
yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
that's fun to have that stuff. And I'll hit one more kind of point like that too, because not the only thing that you guys are bringing back. The choreography, as we kind of wrap back around to this tour and everything. Is it Step by Step or Hanging Tough that you guys brought back the classic choreography for?
We went back to the Right Stuff, actually.
So it's the one I didn't say. I get it. Yeah, that's
yeah, exactly. The other one, yeah. Yes, we've always kind of incorporated certain moves. There's probably a handful or two of things that we bring back, but specifically. We and over the years we've refined them a little bit to fit our demo, so to speak. And Donnie had this idea to bring back the video, and sort of like we're living the video in front of the video, and that opening choreography is pretty intricate, again, certainly more youthful than we are now, and was actually that was Jordan choreographed that piece in his basement in Dorchester, Massachusetts, and I don't know where he came up with it, but he was influenced by a lot of things. But anyways, literally, we hadn't done it in probably since 1992. So that's 30 years. We're talking literally 30 years. And every one of us, the minute the music came down, it was completely in our bones. And we just knocked it out, it's really kind of funny on a scientific level. Like, we did that because when you think of how much we toured for 5 years, how much we did that song, thousands of times,
right?
And it was just, we all kind of reveled in the idea that, man, even that is in our bones, and it feels very exciting. I got to say, it had a visceral effect on me because it brings back so much. We get to relive so much of our history together, and it's really kind of it used to be a mind F, if you know what I mean. And then you kind of get over that. But it was very, very cool to know that we could just bang out that piece again and do it well.
Yeah. I like how you put that with a mind F, because I've got to imagine that there's plenty of that. Growing up, and the New Kids in itself had to be like, before the interview, we were kind of joking about the difference between Joe McIntyre and Joey McIntyre. Do you find that you actually compartmentalize New Kids versus Broadway versus solo? Is there a thing there?
I don't know. I think that would be silly for one, you know what I mean? It's just a waste of time. I think that, certainly when you're attached to something like this, it's going to be with you. And I embrace that. There was a time, 20 something years ago where you wanted to separate, you wanted to kind of make your, plant your flag, on your own. And that happened in ways. It's all relative. It's all how you, but if you're going to wait for the world to catch up, how you frame things, right? Like, good luck. So you can't really take that stuff personally. So it's and I know that, blockheads yeah, there might be some that are more partial to me that come to my stuff more than they would somebody else, and vice versa. But this group has really kind of, it's like a hug, you know what I mean? And like, no matter where you go, whether I do solo work or Broadway or TV or anything like that, it's really nice to know that I'm going to have support along the way.
Yeah. Well, and I'll kind of wrap up by, just complimenting that side too. I mean, I know you just did The Wanderer, speaking of Broadway, and stretching all the way back. I was watching the new movie version of Tick, Tick, Boom. And of course, thinking like, oh, right. Like you did that. Like that's great kind of heritage to be a part of there as well.
Absolutely. I've been lucky, I've been lucky. And I guess, in retrospect, maybe dare I say I belong there, because that Tick, Tick, Boom was my first, New York production, and it was a wonderful show. And certainly, again, you got to use what you have. I mean, I remember the producers saw me in People magazine, and they're trying to keep the show open. You know what I mean? And the idea is to surprise people, right? You get the opportunity, but then you show them that you belong. And that was a wonderful experience. And then I jump into Wicked pretty soon after that, when the show's blowing up. So the theater community is important to me, and I'm cut from that cloth. So I'm glad that I've continued to do some work in the theater.
Yeah. So what happens next? I know you put out a solo track not too long ago. Are you thinking about another record? Are you thinking about another New Kids record? I think it's been 2017.
My dream, and we laugh about it, is that all five of us are just, maybe not lock ourselves in a cabin, but we go to some farm and we make an album, just the five of us. Like, that's my dream. I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe I'll get a song or two out of it. Maybe I'll somehow finagle that. That'd be a damn good, reality show too. But we're always, I think we're always kind of clicking, the ebb and flow. We do have a couple of more tracks that we're kind of working on. I think, I think we're always going to make music, as a group. It's just that I'm not sure the timeline, but we get excited, and inspired by each other. And I might have an idea, or Donnie has an idea, or we jump in and, what do you think of this? And then next thing you know, maybe we're doing, an EP or something like that. So, and then personally, I'd love to make a solo album. I'm trying to, I don't know. I got like I got a double album on my voice memos. You know what I mean? I always say, if I had to make an album tomorrow, I have the content. Unfortunately, it takes some time. So.
Well, I'll be looking forward to it, whatever it is. Thanks, in the meantime, man, I hope you're having a blast out there. It looks like everybody's having a blast on this tour. I had my buddy Dave Holmes, I know, joined you guys in Cincinnati for the kickoff of that too. So that's
best.
Yeah, it's been fun seeing you, Joey. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it too, man.
Thank you. By the way, when is Michael Stipe gonna? Is he completely? Has he changed his mind? Is he gonna write new music, or didn't he retire, or is he back?
No. Stipe put out some solo music last year, and it was good. It was good. I liked it. I played it. I'm a huge REM. Maybe my all-time favorite band. I mean, I've got a little Bowie thing going here too, but you could tell like it would just be that much more magical if the other guys were on it too. And but you know what? I don't think so. I think I honestly think REM will never get back together, even though they're all still love each other and friends and even hang out all the time. I don't think they'll ever do it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow.
All right, man.
Thanks for that info. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, please. You should. Yeah. You should. It's good stuff.
Cool.
I appreciate you talking. I really do.
Thanks
you so
for
much.
having me. And I appreciate it, man. It's been a good time.